All right, so get ready because today we're diving into a truly bizarre case that still has people talking to this day.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah, the Bleeding House of Atlanta.
Ooh, yeah, that one is gonna be hard to top.
So this all took place back in 1987, a seemingly normal house in an Atlanta suburb, and the mystery is something else.
Really blurs the lines between what's real and something, well, more unsettling.
For sure.
Yeah.
So imagine this. You have Minnie and William Winston,
Okay.
an elderly couple living in this house for over 20 years.
Wow, over 2 decades.
And they're described as really friendly, intelligent, normal people.
Yeah, you'd think that if there was something paranormal going on, there'd at least be some, like, rumors going around.
Right, exactly.
But nothing, huh?
Nothing like that, nope.
Interesting.
And then all of a sudden, the weirdness just hits.
Yeah. What happened?
So Minnie's taking a bath, steps out, and feels something wet under her slippers.
Oh, no.
And at first, she thinks it's just water, but when she looks down, it's blood.
That's awful.
Yeah, and we're not talking just a little bit, like a puddle of blood.
Enough to make you think twice.
More than enough.
Oh, so she must have been terrified.
Oh, absolutely, and it gets even weirder.
Okay, how so?
Well, she sees even more blood, like bubbling up from the floor.
What?
Like a little, I don't know, fountain, but blood.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
Yeah, so she freaks out, winks up William, who was asleep,
Okay.
and that's when they really see how bad it is.
Oh no.
They walk through the house, and every room has blood on the walls, the floors, even down in the basement.
It's like something out of a movie.
I know, right? And remember, this is 1987, no CGI.
Right.
So this was all real.
Wow, they must have been so scared.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and the amount of blood is crazy. It's way too much to have come from just one person.
Right, which is why they immediately called the police.
Of course.
And it wasn't just your average police visit, it turned into a full-blown investigation.
Really?
Oh yeah, tons of officers, forensics teams, even their landlords came to investigate.
They brought everyone in.
Everyone, they were trying to find any answers, any explanation.
I bet the pressure was intense.
Oh, absolutely. And then you have the media starting to pick up on this story.
Oh no.
A house that's bleeding. It's a big deal.
I can only imagine.
And then comes Brenda Dipple.
Oh, who's that?
She was a blood spatter expert with the Atlanta PD at the time, and not just any expert.
Well, she was one of the good ones, huh?
Oh yeah, very well respected, known for being very good at her job.
Okay.
Grew up around blood. Her dad was in mountain rescue. She even studied public health before joining the force.
So blood and science.
Exactly.
Okay.
And she was really important to the investigation.
Oh.
Well, she was obviously there for her expertise, but also just her reaction when she first walked into the house.
Interesting.
She was very clearly disturbed by the house, even said, "This house scares me. There's something evil here."
Oh, wow. Okay. She sounds like she knows what she's talking about.
Oh, she does. Even with that feeling, she still remained professional.
Good for her.
Yeah, confirmed the substance was human blood, type O.
Okay.
But she went even deeper than that.
Okay. What else did you do?
Well, she analyzed the blood patterns,
Yeah.
the way it was flowing, and her conclusion was that this wasn't splatter. The blood was seeping from inside the walls and the floors.
Coming from inside the house.
Yeah, which is wild, right?
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
But the police were skeptical, understandably.
I mean, a bleeding house.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah, I can see why they think it was a hoax.
Right, so they started to investigate, trying to find the source of the blood.
Oh, okay, so they didn't just take her word for it.
No, they wanted to see if there was some logical explanation.
Makes sense.
So they searched the entire house, top to bottom, even tearing down walls to see if there was anything that could be leaking blood.
Like pipes or something?
Yeah, hidden cavities, anything, but they found nothing.
Wow.
Then they contacted blood banks and hospitals all across the country.
Really?
Yeah, to see if there were any missing blood supplies, especially type O, but nothing.
No leads there, huh?
No. And they even investigated the Winston's daughter.
Oh, why?
Well, she was a nurse, so they thought maybe she had access to blood.
Okay, but that didn't pan out.
Nope, dead end.
Wow.
They even looked into William's dialysis treatment.
Okay, and how did that go?
No luck there either.
So at this point, they're just trying anything.
I think so, yeah.
Grasping at straws, huh?
Pretty much.
Wow. I can only imagine the pressure.
Oh, it was a lot, especially with the media attention.
Right, the media loves a good mystery.
This wasn't just a good mystery, this was an insane mystery.
Yeah, for sure. So what happened?
Well, the media was camped outside the Winston's house.
Wow.
Reporters everywhere.
Poor Winston's.
Yeah, they were basically trapped in their own home.
I bet.
And the police were under so much pressure to solve this case.
Of course, I mean, a bleeding house.
It's crazy.
So much information,
Yeah,
but not enough to really make any sense of it.
exactly.
Sounds like a tough case.
Well, it was definitely one for the books.
Yeah, for sure. So now you have a house just full of blood, no idea where it's coming from, and all the normal explanations just don't make sense.
Right.
So that's when people start to think about things that are a little less rational.
A little less, yeah. And in this case, a lot of different theories popped up.
Like what?
Well, you have the skeptics, the people who looked at the blood patterns and said, no way this was seeping out of the walls.
Okay, yeah.
This had to have been thrown.
So their theory was that someone brought in blood from somewhere else.
Yeah, and just made it look like it was coming from the house.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense. It's just, how do you get that much blood?
Right, and then you have Brenda Dipple, the blood spatter expert,
right.
who was adamant that the blood was coming from inside the house.
Yeah, she seemed pretty sure about that.
Yeah, her whole career was understanding blood patterns, so
She would know.
yeah.
So what else did they think?
Well, there was also the theory about the Winston's kids.
Oh yeah, their relationship wasn't great.
Yeah, not the best. So people were saying maybe the kids were trying to drive him crazy
Oh wow.
or even scare them out of the house.
But how would they even do that?
I know, right? Like, where would they get that much blood from?
Yeah, and how would they have made it look like it was seeping out of the walls?
And the bubbling blood fountain in the bathroom, like, how do you even fake that?
Yeah, that part's always creeped me out.
For sure.
Plus, there's really no evidence that points to the kids.
Yeah, just rumors and speculation.
It's amazing how quickly stories can spread.
Especially when you have a mystery like this.
And then there's the theory that really gets people talking.
The supernatural explanation.
Ooh, okay. Tell me more.
So this is where we get into Atlanta's history, and things get, well, a bit unsettling.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so let's go back to 1906.
Okay.
A race massacre happened in Atlanta. Over 100 African Americans were murdered by a white mob.
Oh, wow. That's terrible.
Yeah, really horrific event, and according to local lore, this massacre is linked to a demon called Bloodseed.
Bloodseed? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a pretty terrifying figure in African American folklore.
So what is this Bloodseed?
Well, it's described as this really malevolent entity that loves violence and bloodshed.
Okay.
And legend has it that whenever Bloodseed is injured, each drop of its blood creates more demons.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
Bloodseed's presence is marked by blood flowing from walls and pooling on the ground.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Isn't that what was happening in the Winston's house?
Exactly, and that's what really fueled those supernatural theories.
Wow. So they're connecting the massacre, the legend, and the bleeding house.
All happening in the same area.
It makes you wonder if there was more to this than just a prank.
Yeah, could something unexplainable have been at work here?
But the police ultimately closed the case.
They did. Never found any concrete answers.
So it's just one of those mysteries that we may never know the truth about.
Yeah, like Amelia Earhart or Jack the Ripper.
We might never know for sure, but that's what keeps these stories alive.
Exactly, the speculation. Exploring the possibilities.
Ah, it's fascinating.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we've gone over the facts, the theories.
Even explored a bit of Atlanta's history.
A lot to think about.
It really is. And, at the end of the day, it's up to each of us to decide what we believe.
What makes the most sense to you?
Exactly. Do you think there's a more practical explanation? Or do you lean more towards those supernatural theories?
Right.
And if this is a case that really intrigues you, I'd say do some more digging yourself.
Oh, yeah, definitely look into the history of Atlanta, especially the 1906 massacre.
There's so much information out there.
And see what you can find about the Bloodseed legend.
See what other stories are connected to it.
You never know. You might even find something that sheds new light on the bleeding house.
That's the thing about these kinds of mysteries. They really make you think.
Yeah, for sure.
But one thing's for certain. Sometimes simple answers just don't exist.
I guess that's part of the mystery.
And maybe that's what keeps us so fascinated by these stories.
Maybe, yeah.
So keep those minds open, stay curious, and who knows, maybe you'll discover your own explanation for the Bleeding House of Atlanta.
And that's it for our deep dive into the Bleeding House of Atlanta.
Make sure to check out the show notes for more information and resources.
And be sure to join us next time for another deep dive into a brand new mystery.
Until then, stay curious.